I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We are back.
We're back. Seems like
movie
a
night.
minute for some reason. But yes, movie night.
Movie night. It has been a minute. It really has been a minute. We usually record every week, but we took a little break and we're back. We, as you all know, we don't record day of and post. So you probably are like, oh no, we're still getting weekly episodes, but
Yeah.
that is not the case. We might be rusty.
We might. I mean, honestly, I got a little nervous before you hit record for some reason.
That's so funny because everyone has had limited social interaction. I feel like a lot of people are probably a little rusty with talking out loud.
I'm like, how do I speak to humans? Feel like a robot.
Same. Excellent. So, what did we tackle this week?
We tackled the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind.
Yes.
It's a mouthful. I was like, please, God, I hope this comes out of my mouth correctly.
I love that you added the eternal sunshine.
I was making it extra special.
Made in 2004, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is directed by Michel Gondry and written by Charlie Kaufman and Michel Gondry. It is about, here is the synopsis. Here's the synopsis. When their relationship turns sour, a couple undergoes a medical procedure to have each other erased from their memories. The cast is as follows. Jim Carrey plays Joel. Kate Winslet plays Clementine. Elijah Wood plays Patrick. Mark Ruffalo plays Stan. Kirsten Dunst plays Mary. And Tom Wilkinson plays Dr. Mierzwiak. I think it's Mierzwiak.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think that's good. First of all, I fucking love this cast. And for all of you listeners out there, it only took me about 12 to 15 times to give that synopsis and cast list. Or even the title.
It's okay. We've all been there. I've been there.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
So this was my choice. Alexa, what did you think?
Overall, I really liked it. I love me some Kate Winslet. It was also just, it was so fun to see her in this like edgy role. I really enjoyed that. Jim Carrey, I never not like him. So that was really fun. It also is like an interesting film for him as well. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with the concept of like erasing someone from your mind because I like hate that. I don't want to ever do that. So I thought that was interesting.
I was thinking about this because there are some similarities I can't ignore between this film and The Matrix.
Yes.
And you said you didn't want to go down the rabbit hole because ignorance is bliss. So I was thinking, what if Alexa comes to me and says that she would be for having her memory erased?
This is why I'm an enigma, because I am like, I don't think I'd go down the rabbit hole. I also don't want my memory erased. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's really funny.
I don't know what that means about me, but like, I don't know, erasing someone from your mind. Like you meet people, like I guess in my, like, obviously we've all met people we're like, oh shit, like I wish I would have met them, right? Like I think we all can say, you know, there's maybe one or two people you're like, I could have lived without that. But at some point, sooner or later, I end up seeing the value of meeting that person. So
good experiences and bad experiences all have, at the very least, a lesson.
Exactly. So I think that's where I struggle with the concept of erasing someone. I don't think I could do it. I think I would get really close. And then I'd be like, no, stop. I don't know.
I certainly wouldn't be able to do it on a whim like Kate Winslet's character did.
Yeah, that was like such an irrational decision. Like she just went for it. And then, I mean, obviously they both had regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most beautiful, touching romantic films. There's a lot of it. A lot of it troubles me because there are certain parts of their relationship that are so volatile, but I don't know, like.
But they end up meeting. They end up meeting again, regardless.
Right.
So you can't
because they
stop
love
fate.
each other.
Yes.
I don't know if it's so much fate, in my opinion. I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, the way I interpreted the film, it was that there was still an imprint on both of them.
Okay.
That led them back to each other.
Okay.
Like they were fighting the whole process once they were undergoing the procedure. Well, once he was undergoing the procedure, he was fighting it along with his memory of her. Mm-hmm. He regretted the decision and was trying to keep her. And when the last memory that he had of her was being erased, which was the memory of the first time they met.
Yeah.
They have a moment where she says, "Meet me in Montauk." And so something inside him, and he didn't know why, took him there. And she was there. And I feel like that's like what's so romantic about the movie is that no matter what happened with the procedure, like it still led them to each other.
Yeah, no, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful, the film. And it's funny. I think that's a valid point. And now that you explain, I understand. And that makes sense. I guess I always just like, I kind of, the general theme I felt was like, you can't stop fate.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting that you went to the fate thing because I maybe it's because I don't really prescribe to the concept of fate itself. So I didn't look at it through that lens.
Yeah. I just have always, I mean, I know it's cheesy, but like I always feel like, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Things happen for a reason, that kind of thing. I've always kind of like, I'm not like screaming it from the rooftops, but I think I've always kind of like operated with that underlying thought in my brain. So yeah, maybe that's why I immediately thought that. Like you can't stop Mother Nature with like these like, with logic and reason and mathematics and science and all that stuff. Like I kind of like, that's the kind of like the theme. And not that I don't believe in science. I do. I'm not a crazy person. I believe in science, but I do believe in fate. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I just saw it more as like their love. Like, I don't think they ended up at the beach by accident at the same time. I think they both went there because something inside them told them to go.
But wouldn't that kind of be like fate too?
For me, I don't look at it that way. I look at it like, because they both say at the beginning of the film, "I'm sorry, I'm just not myself today." Like, yeah, he even said, he's like, "I don't know why I came here." It was just literally something inside him. Like, I think, as cheesy as this sounds, she is his sunshine in his mind, in his spotless mind. And it took him there.
Okay.
That's so interesting. I didn't look at it from the fate perspective at all.
Yeah, I totally did.
I looked at it as like a choice because throughout the whole movie, you see that he is dealing with his choices. Yeah.
No, I get it. It's just like, he's like saying he's made that choice. He didn't know why. He felt like, I don't know, whenever I feel like moved to do something, but I don't know why I'm doing it, I guess I feel like, okay, maybe that's just fate.
You don't feel like it's your free will based on something inside you?
I mean, yeah, it's still my free will, but I guess, I don't know. It's like being in the right place at the right time. Like, I don't know how to explain it. How do you explain fate? I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah. That's like a weird concept.
I feel like when I think of fate, I think of predetermination that I have no free will over.
Interesting. Okay.
Some people like to combine the concepts where it's like all your free will choices are inevitably going to reach
a
certain destination.
I think that's kind of how I think about it. Like, no matter what I do, I'm not going to change. Like, if something's meant for me, it's still going to happen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what you didn't like? You just struggled with the concept?
That concept I was fine. I was saying I just don't like the idea of deleting people from your mind. Yeah. That's what I didn't like. The rest of it's all great and lovely. And
I thought it was just, and what?
Sorry, I was just going to say some of my favorite scenes were when they were like inside his brain and trying to like get out of the pattern of deleting her. And when they have to like hide in like deep, dark memories.
Yeah.
I thought that was so fun.
Yeah, I think the concept of the film is extraordinarily clever in that they chose to play in the playground that is the mind. And so it's like the possibilities of what they were able to film were endless. And it feels like they used every possibility. Like the film is like off the walls.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much creativity that goes into the set design, into the editing, into the locations and how everything fits together. And, you know, when they're hiding in the deep, dark memories and they're little kids and they go between being little kids and adults and their voices change from little kids to adults. It's extremely clever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the editing is like amazing.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was really a fan of like when they're hiding in the kitchen.
Yeah, when he's under the table.
It's so cool because I was looking into it and apparently that wasn't like a post-production special effect. That was an in-camera special effect. They built a set with like an illusion. Yeah. So like that table was tilted so that when you stand in front of that table, you look like your normal height. And then when you stand behind the table, you look really tiny. It's
funny that you said that because I actually looked that up too because I was really curious because it was so trippy. I was like, wait a second, like, is this a special effect or like, is he in a like, are the set pieces like? It was really weird. And then when she was being filmed, she looked in like a completely different, like the what's that called? Like the size, the perspective, and like the sizing of everything was different. So it was like really trippy. So I was interested in that too. So it's funny you bring that up.
And when they're in the sink taking a bath, like when he's a baby, that is actually like a real like hot tub that they built to make it look like a sink.
It's amazing. It's just so, and it would have been such like, I think about too, like how fun it would be to make a film like that. Like all the creative like freedom with that and just doing like those ridiculous things, like a once in a lifetime sort of film.
100%. To be able to like, both of them are like such epic actors, and to be able to just get to play, because I know that they got to improvise a lot. Mm-hmm. I know they mentioned that like the trickiest part for them, which I was thinking about, I'm like, how do they keep it straight in their head? Like what they're filming is like where in the timeline it is, if it's a memory where he's self-aware that he's already erasing her, like that's a lot to keep track of when you're filming and when you're improvising. Just keeping those factors straight in your head, that's a fucking daunting task.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, Jim Carrey, I think before this film, I don't think he had done any other dramatic roles before this one that were as well known. So when this came out, everyone was like so shocked by how incredible he is at being at doing drama.
Yeah, he was great. It was really interesting. I think for me, even that's the first time I've seen him in a serious role. Yeah, because I just always, watch comedy stuff with him in it, and I've never. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know about this film before you mentioned it to me.
It's such a good one.
And
I think a lot of comedians that are really well known for just being larger than life personalities, and really able to do anything with their faces. They're actually like some of the most powerful dramatic actors because comedy is so close to tragedy. The line is
so thin,
very thin. So I've seen him do this. He also did a film called Majestic, which was incredible. His performance in that movie was pretty spectacular. There are a few others, I think, but I remember this was the first time I saw him do that, and I was like blown away.
Yeah.
And Kate was like cast as like she was cast in all the period pieces before this and all like the classical films. So this was like the first time you get to see her as like a modern American woman.
Yeah.
Who was a little eccentric.
It took me a second to get used to. Like it felt really weird for a minute. I was like, oh, Gosh, like this is so different than how I typically see her, you know? But I thought she was lovely. I thought she was absolutely lovely. And she has like a million and one hair colors and it's badass.
Oh, I know. They had like a whole, I was watching the
hair.
credits. I was watching the credits, and do you know when they like list like the hair and makeup for each of the actors? They had a hair and makeup artist for her, and then they had someone just in charge of her wigs.
Oh yeah.
Because she had to go through so many
also
hair
great
colors.
wigs. Like they look
so real.
Look so real. You wouldn't know. You really wouldn't know. But yeah, just so fun. And it I don't know.
They're also so important because they help you keep track of where they are in the timeline.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Like for a second, I remember watching it and I was like, wait a second, where are we? And I was like, wait, she has blue hair. Okay, she has blue hair. So I know where
that means they're in the now.
Yes, they're in the now. She has blue hair. And honestly, I wonder if, I feel like that was just they added that. I wonder if they added that. I didn't look into this, but I wonder if that was added for that purpose.
To help the audience know what was going on. I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised because honestly, and they do a great job of storytelling, don't get me wrong, but it can be a little bit there was a couple times I paused and I was like, I had to collect my thoughts of where we were because, you're going
this
in
is
and
a
out.
movie that you need to watch more than once to fully understand.
There was a lot of pausing and rewinding for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, I gotta go back. I gotta go back and see what just happened because I'm like, where are we? Are we in the now? Are we in the past? Are they in his memories? Wait. So yeah, you definitely
There was only one memory that really kind of caught me off guard because I was paying attention to the hair color more this time around. And it was because they erased his memory in reverse order, right? It was like the fight that broke them up first.
Yeah.
It was the first one to go, and then they went through the first time they met. But I think the second to last memory that got erased, she had orange hair. But when they met, she had green hair.
Yes.
And I know she dyed her hair orange while they were in the relationship. So I don't know if that was...
I'm trying to remember.
I do not want to say they made a mistake, but it was a little bit confusing to me because I noticed...
Oh,
the memory of her dyeing her hair was already erased.
Are you talking about when they're on the ice?
I'm talking about when he goes to her in the bookstore. He's like, I'm sorry I left because he left the house, right? And he came to talk to her and she's like, I'm not a concept. I'm just a fucked up girl looking for a peace of mind.
Yes. And her hair was orange.
Her hair was orange.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I don't know if that's a mistake or if it's just a memory that he is creating in a hidden place, or if it was just an oversight. I don't know.
Or if they're the colors mean nothing. We just wanted her to have fun hair.
Though.
I don't know. I was like, they're guys, people listening to this, if they're excuse me, the colors mean nothing. We just wanted her to have fun hair. I'm kidding.
I was looking at...
I think they absolutely do.
They 100% do. It's so helpful with the timeline. But there was an article I came across this morning. I didn't read it because I didn't have enough time, but there's a whole article on the meaning of her hair colors and the wigs that she went through.
There you go.
But that moment
doesn't make sense.
I don't get it.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm sure someone that
I kind of
is smarter than me will come tell me.
I didn't put it together, to be honest with you, but I do remember it now that you're saying.
Because that's a very small detail. Because I've seen the movie many times, and I know you were probably just getting the overall sense of the plot and the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the cast as a whole. Mark Ruffalo, I'm a big fan of.
Yes.
I actually just saw him in Dark Waters, and I love him in Spotlight, and it's really fun to see
Spotlight
in this. Spotlight's an incredible film.
I love that film.
What do you think of the Kirsten Dunst storyline with the doctor?
Oh,
is that not the saddest thing?
I know. I actually almost brought that up when we were talking about Fate because I was like, see, she still made the same mistake. I know you're gonna.
Well, I think it's more about the nature of the person, right? If she had been erased and
Well, she erased him from her mind,
Right.
but he didn't erase her from his, correct?
Right. I misspoke. So if she erased him and then just didn't work around him, and she wouldn't have had the opportunity to fall back in love with him. When you are just predisposed to, like, you have a type and you have you love doing things
Well, we
about
don't
people.
know.
Like,
We don't know.
how dumb is it that, like, they agreed for her to continue working there, and that they thought that they would fucking help if they just erased her memory, as if she wouldn't, like, start to like him again.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
I feel
really, like that kind of defeats the purpose of erasing someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't see that coming, though. I will say, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it's a really good twist.
It came out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
That's really
interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
What were some of your favorite scenes? You said that you really liked when they would, like, go into the deep parts of his mind.
Yeah. Those are. I think that those are, like, when he's under the table and when they're in the sink.
It's so quirky.
Those are fun. Oh wait, and the funny one where he's, like, masturbating, and she's like,
"That's
really?"
Hilarious.
She's like, "This is the only thing you can think."
You told me to hide under humiliation.
You told me to hide under humiliation. I don't know. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. Just took me on, like, a really fun ride. And I think the scenes between them, during those times are, I don't know, they're just really fun scenes, and the work that they do together is really great. Yeah. I think I enjoyed those the most. What about you?
So when I was rewatching this morning, I can't tell if it's because I'm in kind of, like, a sensitive state with everything that's going on, but I started crying during the scene. It's like a whole montage. The music is playing, so it's teed up for you to get emotional, but it's during a lot of their happy memories. And one of them in particular, I just started sobbing, is when I saw them looking at the elephants. And she's like, "I want to be a great big giant elephant with a big trunk." And, like, they were just being so cute, and it was a particularly sweet moment in their relationship. And I actually saw an interview where they're talking about it, and apparently that was all shot guerrilla style. So they were shooting something, I think, at the train station that night, and they heard people saying, "The circus is here, the circus is here." And they ran outside with the camera and just had Jim and Kate, like, improvise stuff.
I love
around
that.
and, like, following the elephants around and, like, doing stuff in character. And apparently there were, like, paparazzi there, like, trying to follow them as well. Like, they were in public when they shot that. It wasn't a quick set.
How cool. That's really cool.
And I just thought that's probably one of my favorite scenes of the film. Little montage moments, and that wasn't even planned.
Sometimes the best things aren't planned.
Pushing the fate thing on me.
I can't stop.
But yeah, no, I struggle. I think it's because you're used to seeing really, like, cheesy, happy, quote unquote, like, perfect relationships on screen. And so I remember when I still struggle with it when I see it now, like, seeing the harder parts of the relationship and some of the fights. A part of me is like, it's a little toxic, because she's super impulsive and volatile, right?
And you also don't start to see the good parts of their relationship until later, when you start going through his mind, his memories. So, and actually, I was thinking that too. Like, when I first started it, I was like, this, like, because I remember you saying, like, "Oh, it's a love story." I was like, what? But it is. It totally is. But, like, it shows you the rough and tough parts of relationships, which don't normally
they don't get screen time, those parts. And, like, you really see it in this movie, and it's, like, so raw and so real, to the point where it's like, I don't know if these two should be together. But then you see, like,
I absolutely didn't think they should be together. I was like, this is insane. I was like, she is terrible for him.
But then by the end, what did you think?
Then I wanted them to be together.
Well,
I thought they had a shot. I thought they had a shot. At the end, I was like, they have a shot.
Well, I think the beautiful part about the ending is that they both got their tapes and they both got to kind of sit with where the relationship would inevitably deteriorate, and they would get to hear each other's sides of it. Mm-hmm. And so they have a shot at like trying to work on it.
Yeah. Which is weird. Like it's kind of eerie when they start playing the tapes.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because I kind of thought about it. I was like, oh my God, like what if if that were me, like, and I was listening to like what I said about someone that I deleted from my brain, like that would be creepy. And also really
not only that,
scary.
But to hear an uncensored version of what the most intimate person in your life, mm-hmm. like then talk about your flaws in a very just straightforward, raw way. Yeah. No sugarcoating how they know you. It's informative, but I feel like it would be very difficult to stomach. And I think they portrayed that beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was almost uncomfortable.
He was like, what the fuck is this? And like kicked her out of the car.
Yeah.
He's like, you're fucking with me.
Yeah.
And then she comes over and he's playing his tape and he's like, I'll shut this off. You don't need to hear this. And she's like, it's only fair. I heard yours.
That's so interesting. It's like, I don't know if that would be helpful. Like, I don't know. I just am curious, like knowing all of that stuff, like would it be helpful or hurtful to the relationship?
I think it'll be hurtful. I mean, it depends on the relationship.
Yeah, it depends on, but like, I feel like in the long run, I don't know. Cause then everything's out on the table. I don't know. I think it depends on the people and the relationship, like how mature or not, or willing to work on it or not, because it's a choice. Exactly. I don't know. I mean, do you ever really tell your significant other like what really bothers you about them? I feel like I do, actually.
I have.
Yeah, I feel like on the most part, like I try to be nice about it, but some like I don't know, or like funny, but like I'll be like, that's annoying me. I don't know.
I think there's always like compassion and I don't know, like I'm definitely not a perfect human when it comes to this stuff, but like I try to come from a place of empathy and compassion, and I try to think about things before I say them out loud. Like a lot of what bothered me about Clementine was, and kind of part of me was a little jealous, and that she would just say whatever came into her brain. But I'm not like that at all. I do have slip-ups where, like, if I get so upset, some things will just come out, but that's not how I normally operate. I try to think first.
Yeah. I don't normally operate like that with people, with like friends, but with family and like Shane, I can be I don't think before I speak. I will admit that.
And how do you feel about that?
There's not a lot of thought process sometimes. I've also gotten better at it though. Like I used to be really bad. Like I would just say whatever was on my mind. And then I would realize, oh, that probably wasn't the nicest thing. It's weird because it's like kind of a part of who I am, I would say, in a weird way. But there are a lot of times where I have to be like, oh my God, there have been times where I've caught myself like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I take that back. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I can remember in my mind of times I've had to be like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Or that didn't come out with the kind of tact that I mean it with, you know? Mm-hmm. Sometimes my wording can be very direct. Like if you're close enough with me, you know that about me. But like mostly just like family and my relationship. Yeah. I don't know what it is with that. I don't know what it is. Because like with friends, I feel like I'm pretty like I have more compassion and more empathy for some reason.
Are you sure that's what it is? Or it's just more trust with your family and your relationship?
Maybe that's it too. Yeah. Like I trust them to know me enough to know that they're like not to take it the wrong way. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. It's interesting.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah. It's just interesting that you brought that up because I actually could relate with Clementine a little bit on that level.
Yeah. I struggled with that a lot because I I don't respond well to that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Yeah. And Shane will tell me when he's not responding well.
But by no stretch of the imagination am I anywhere close to perfect in that arena. Like I feel like I have my moments where I'll be pushed enough to say something impulsive, but I feel like my problem is more in the opposite direction, because I really like to think things through before I express them, because I'm ironically not the most eloquent person when I'm feeling emotional. This is a podcast host saying that, like, I'm not very eloquent. So I tend to bottle things up quite a bit. And it's not helpful when someone's trying to have an honest discussion with you. But I'm just trying to be tactful and articulate myself in such a way that'll be the most helpful for the conversation. But sometimes people can't wait and they're like, no, but I want what you think now. I'm like, it's not ready to come out. It's still cooking.
It's not ready. It's still cooking. It's still cooking. No, I have to
another 5 minutes.
I have to force myself. I have to force myself sometimes to like, oh, you need to marinate on this. Like when it's, now that I'm, older and learning lessons, as I go through life, I learned like, okay, you need to marinate on that, or else it's not going to go well for either parties. So you need to marinate on that. Cause not everyone responds. I mean, I respond really well to that, rapid fire. I respond, and that's how I kind of operate. But Shane's more like you. So like, if he's not ready to respond, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And I'm like, all right. Cool. But, hey, it's push and pull. And it's probably one of the reasons why we work so well together is because we are opposites in that respect. Sometimes I think that's best. Because then I think about the alternative would be someone who's just like me. Oh my God, we'd kill each other. We would kill each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I could be wrong. I've never tried it, but like, I think if I was with someone with the same temperament as me, it would be like lots of epic fights.
Or you both teach each other to,
or that.
I don't know, take a walk before you say something.
Take a lap.
Because it's funny, like I've dated people in both camps, and I think I lean more towards finding it more productive for me to have this kind of relationship with someone that's more like me, like more thinking before they speak. But sometimes that gets to the point of like, okay, we're looking at each other and we both know we're pissed, but who's going to say something first?
Exactly. And I hate
a lot of tension. And I've had that before where we're both being tactful and we're both keeping it together. And then by the end, we're both so upset that like,
you got to let it out.
I'm going to cry no matter what. Yeah. And it's just like worse because we waited to say something.
Yeah. I cannot not talk about something that's bothering me. It's really difficult. If something's bothering me, it's really, really difficult for me not to say something, especially in my relationship. And I have a question actually. Are you a person that like, will you walk away from a fight? Will you like be like, okay, I need to leave?
It depends.
Okay.
I have done that. It really depends.
Yeah. Cause
I don't like going to sleep mad.
No, exactly. And I struggle. Like I guess where I struggle is like some people will walk away, like they'll leave or they'll shut the door. I can't handle that. It's really hard for me to handle that because I have to solve the problem in order to be at peace. So like, if you just leave mid-fight, I'm like, you've just like left me on red. Like, I'm like,
in my
what do I do?
In my experience, sometimes it's helpful because if you're so mad or so upset, that's you're primed to say something that you don't necessarily mean.
And that is a valid point. And
so that's why I think I gravitate more towards in my personal relationship people that wait. Even though that has its set of challenges, I think it's
there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to each of them.
For sure.
And I think it's just whatever works better for you as a person. But
there's some people that are like, it's important to go to bed mad.
What?
And I'm like, I can't. Yeah, like they're like, sometimes you just need to get your rest and go to sleep. And sometimes you forgot what you fought about by morning. There are people that really believe in that.
No, I feel like that's like, I mean, whatever works for them, but I feel like then it feels like it's brushed under the rug and then it's going to like compile and then it's going to blow up even
Sometimes
bigger.
if it's a bet, or I can argue the other side because I'm like you, I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Like I can argue like sometimes it's late, you're tired, and you're just fighting over something like that's dumb.
Right. I think it's also important to mention that like if it's a stupid fight, like if you're fighting over a bag of potato chips, like just go to bed. Please.
You need sleep.
Just go to bed. Like, I mean, if it's like an irrational fight, which like I've had many of those, like so stupid. Like I've literally looked at Shane and been like, I don't think why are we fighting? What just happened?
It's funny, like people that like get me will sometimes say, did you have your coffee yet today?
Yeah.
Or did you have lunch?
No, literally
go have your coffee, go eat something.
This is like so TMI, but like whenever I'm angry, Shane will look at me. He's like, so are you hungry or do you have to go to the bathroom? I'm like, okay, you're making me more angry now.
That makes you more angry, but it's like also not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's not wrong at all.
I'm dead.
Fun times. But yeah, it's all different types.
It's true. I like this movie because I feel like it really makes you think about love in your own life, because it really puts together like a montage of this love story. And I don't think it just gets you thinking about this love story, kind of like Titanic just gets you thinking about that specific love story. This one kind of gets you thinking about all the love stories you've had in your life.
I agree.
And what they look like in your brain. If you're getting rid of it. I just think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that stood out to you before we move on to our next segment?
I don't think so. I enjoyed it very much.
Yay. Movie night. Alexa.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I am not okay. I'm a little bit better than okay because I did clean my apartment. So that has made my mood a little better, has elevated my mood, if you will. But I mean, I'm surviving. I'm living. My floors are clean, so I feel a little bit better. That's really all I got. I've been watching a lot of films. That's been keeping me company, to be honest. Pamela.
Yes.
Are you okay?
No. Nope. Super emotional these days. I think I mentioned that in a recent episode. As is everybody. There's a lot going on in the world right now that's hard to stomach. And, just trying to make the most of it. The nice positive parts about my days are I take long walks and socially distanced. And I've been a little bit more adventurous in the kitchen, which has been nice.
Oh, do tell.
Well, I made the whipped coffee.
Oh, yes.
You recommended on a previous episode. But I was like, I had such a caffeine high. It was like a lot, even for me. And I have like a lot of coffee every day. That was a lot, but it was delicious. I've been reading a ton. Right now I'm reading my dear friend Jackson Palmer's newest book, and it's excellent. He's playing in a whole different world and a lot of adventure, and it moves really fast, and I'm loving it. And I'm reading a lot of other books too right now. I usually like to just focus on one at a time, but I have like 4 that I'm reading right now at the same time. So
oh my gosh,
it's been a lot, but keeping busy and trying to stay positive.
Yes.
This was a delight. I look forward to every time we record. So that's definitely
nice. Yeah. And speaking of reading, I have been reading outside a lot. I've been struggling reading inside my apartment for some reason. I don't know.
That is interesting.
I don't know what that's about. So I've been trying to like I went to the park one day and just sat under a tree and read, and I don't know. That's my outside time
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, no, it's been nice, but I don't know why I can't focus. For some reason, I can't focus inside the apartment. I don't know what my problem is. But like
maybe because you're confronted with a lot of options.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
You have your TV, you have your computer. Maybe.
Yes, that probably is it. I'm like, oh, I could do this. Yeah, I probably would reach for like the remote or my computer or something. Maybe I'm feeling like antsy. Yeah. And then when I go outside, I don't feel like I have those distractions, even though there's more things happening outside. I don't know.
I feel like you're dealing with the boredom exercise all over again.
Probably. Yes. Here we are. Who knew that would be so pertinent? Oh, God. Yikes.
Very good.
Very good.
Time for a drink.
Time for a drink, honestly.
Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at No One's Okay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios.
We can't wait to meet you.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was made in 2004. It is about fuck.
It is about fuck. Please keep that in.
Fuck.
Don't edit that out. Don't edit that out.
It is about fuck. Very good.
That may have been my favorite thing ever.